everyone, it's Marissa and welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I am sharing an easy rice pilaf recipe with all of you. It's filled with lots of veggies and it's a great way to get more veggies in your diet. If you are not somebody who likes vegetables, then this is a great recipe for you because one of the best ways to kind of like start incorporating more vegetables into your diet, if you are not somebody who loves to eat vegetables, is to cut them really small. And that is exactly what we are going to do in today's video. So I actually made this recipe about a week or two ago, and I knew right after making it, it was so good, so delicious, and easy to make that I knew I had to bring it to the channel and share it with all of you. So it's basically a recipe that I kind of just created out of like thin air. It was a busy day. I kind of just looked in my fridge and was looking for something really quick. And I kind of just pulled out a couple of ingredients and kind of threw something together, and it turned out so good. So I'm gonna go ahead and get started, but before I do, make sure that you subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. Give this video a big thumbs up, follow me on Instagram, and let's get started. So you only need a couple of ingredients for this recipe. And if there's something that you really don't like, you have an allergy to, or just whatever, definitely like sub it out and put in something else that you really like. That's the beauty of cooking at home. So the first thing that we are going to need is obviously rice. I'm gonna use brown rice for this recipe, and I'm taking a major shortcut and using ready rice. This is the whole grain brown rice. I just get it. It's the Uncle Ben's brand. I really like it. It does have like a tiny bit of canola oil in there, which I'm not like super thrilled about, but you guys, it's easy. It saves me a giant like step of cooking the rice. I really like it. I just throw it in the microwave for 90 seconds. If you don't like the microwave, then you can just like add it straight into your pan, but I will usually microwave it before I use it in any type of cooking. But I like it. The only thing I will say is with these ready rices, even though they are so convenient, the only thing that I really do try to do is make sure that I buy like a plain, like flavor brand version of it, because otherwise it is filled with sodium. Okay, if you look at the back and the nutrition label, you'll see the sodium content. And sometimes they're like 400, 600, 700, 800 milligrams of sodium. And that's a lot of salt, you guys. What's nice about this recipe is that we are going to salt it ourselves. So it's not like there's not going to be salt. We want to be able to control that salt, because sometimes if it's just in here, you can just like, and then you're adding more in, it just becomes way too salty and it's not good, especially if you're someone who has like high blood pressure and you need to like really monitor your salt. If you didn't know, salt can, raise your blood pressure. So just keep that in mind. Anyways, I always try to make sure that I buy a plain one, even if it's like a jasmine rice or white rice or whatever, just try to make sure that you get one that doesn't have a ton of salt. Now on to the veggies. So we are going to be using some mushrooms. My personal favorite are these Baby Bella whole mushrooms. I always try to get organic ones. And then we have an onion. This is like a sweet onion, and we're gonna maybe use about half of this. It's like a small onion here, and I'm just gonna use about half of it. And then we're going to use this red bell pepper, and then we are going to use a little, not this entire bag, but just a little bit of artichoke hearts. The next thing that you'll need is some sort of a broth. So I've been really liking this Simple Truth Organic free range chicken bone broth. This is the one that I've been buying recently, and I really like it. It has great flavor, but you can use a veggie broth, whatever it is that you want and have. And then the next thing is some cheese. So I'm going to just shred a little bit of cheese into this dish and like mix it all together, and it makes it so creamy and good. I love it. So anyways, this is Pecorino Romano cheese. You can use Parmesan cheese, whatever you want. This is just my personal favorite. Alrighty, so I'm gonna go ahead and get started. I'm gonna flip the camera down so you guys can see what I'm gonna do, and then we're gonna cook this up and enjoy it. So the first thing that we need to do is start chopping up our vegetables, and as you can see here, I am starting with my onion. So what I like to do is just cut off each end and then go ahead and remove the outer layer of the onion. Then cut it in half and turn it on its side. Carefully, I'll use my knife to make little slices into the onion about 3/4 of the way through, then turn it again and then go in about 3/4 of the way through horizontally. Then I'll use my knife to make a nice vertical chop, and it really gives me a nice rough chop of my onion. Now, as I said earlier in this video, I really want the onion and all the veggies for that matter to be really small in size. So after roughly chopping it, I will actually continue chopping it just to make sure that I get the desired size that I want. Once you are finished chopping, then you can go ahead and add it to a large frying pan. We're gonna go ahead and get it cooking while we finish chopping the rest of the vegetables. Then we're gonna add a little avocado oil to the pan and a little salt and pepper, and we're gonna get that sauteing. Next, continue to chop up the rest of your vegetables. So I'm going to start with the mushrooms, and again, I'm going to make them very small in size, very similar to the onions. Okay, so I also wanted to include in this video what everything looks like as you're cooking it, just to kind of help you out. So as you can see here, the onion has been cooking for a few minutes and it's nice and brown. So now we're gonna add in the mushrooms. So we're gonna give that a good stir, let it cook for a couple of minutes, and then once it's done, it'll look like that. Then you'll go ahead and add in the next ingredient, which is your red bell peppers. So again, give it a good stir and let that cook for a few minutes. When done, it'll look like this, and then you can add in your last ingredient, which is the artichoke hearts. And I did want to say, don't worry, no food was wasted from that bowl. It was just really hard to film with one hand and cook with the other. So after I set the camera down, I added everything in from that bowl. Now that all of the vegetables are in the frying pan, it is time to season it. So I'm adding in some salt and some black pepper. I also needed to add in a little extra oil just to help it finish cooking. Once your vegetables are finished cooking, you can go ahead and add in your rice. Give that a good stir, and usually I will let this cook for maybe like a minute or two, just like this. Now it's time to add in our chicken broth. So I added in about 1/2 cup of broth right into the pan and allowed it to deglaze. I gave it a good stir, and then we're gonna let this cook for about 2 to 3 minutes so that all of the flavors can combine. And last but not least, we are going to finish it up with some freshly grated Pecorino Romano cheese. Once you're done adding in your cheese, give it a good stir, and then you are done. You can go ahead and shut the flame and serve and enjoy. Hey you guys, so it is done now, and I've actually had a few bites of it and it's so good. So definitely go ahead and make this recipe. I promise you won't regret it. But otherwise, that's everything I have for today's video. Again, I hope that you enjoyed it. If you are not subscribed to my channel yet, then definitely go ahead and do so for more health and wellness information and recipes and all that fun stuff. Give this video a big thumbs up, follow me on Instagram, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye!